Hello. Welcome to the live. It is Thirsty Thursday, where we are really thirsty today. And I have no water. And to be truthful, I am thirsty for a lot of things, but I am being strong and I'm holding on to the Most High's promises. And I suggest you do the same, because when we rely on the Most High rather than fulfilling desires that can be detrimental to our health, it usually proves to be the best thing for us. But giving all honor and praise to the Most High on this day, I want to thank Him for giving me another chance to be better today than I was yesterday. So anyways, guys, I put out a video yesterday or the day before, about keeping your mouth quiet and staying silent and keeping your most personal information, especially damaging information, things that could be used against you, close to your chest, right? Rather than divulging it to just anybody and everybody, right? And after I posted that video, I came across a lot of incel videos. Like, have you guys ever listened to any of those incel videos where it's just guys that are lonely and frustrated at their current situation in the world, and they just kind of go off? And the one thing I noticed, so I listened to maybe about 3 or 4 of them, right? And one of the things that a lot of these guys, I noticed they do, is they compare themselves to women. And it's like, why are you comparing yourselves to women when you should be really comparing yourself to other men? I think that's where a lot of these incel videos, the people behind them at least, that's one of their problems, is instead of comparing yourself to other men and being better as a man, they're comparing themselves to how easy they think, hey, Pooja, women have it. And I think that's pretty dangerous. There was one yesterday that was saying, you could be a fat woman or ugly, considered, what society considers ugly, 5 kids by 5 baby dads, and you could still get a man. Whereas me, and mind you, on all of these, hey, what up, Easy, on all of these incel videos that I watched, none of them show their face. So it's like, first of all, I don't even know if you really are ugly, because you're claiming that you're ugly and that you can't get somebody, but you're saying a woman in the same predicament as you can get a man, but yet you can't get a woman. And at the same time, you're too afraid to approach a woman. It was actually really, really sad. But I did come across one today that popped up on my feed. Hey, Babar. Hey, Trump. Hey, the coolest. You too. His video was titled, "There is no such thing as brotherhood." And I listened to it because I kind of feel the same as far as sisterhood. So I was like, let me see what this guy is talking about. Now, mind you, he doesn't show his face. So I can only go off of his voice to determine what I think he may look like. But I think he was a black guy. I can't really tell. But I think he was a black guy. But some of the things that he was saying in there was that why there's no such thing as brotherhood is because he said, number one, men don't have empathy for other men. So like if a guy comes to you with a problem, y'all don't want to hear it, right? There's no availability for empathy or sympathy on the other man's part. He said, instead of, just lending a listening ear, all men do to each other is just offer a solution. That's not true. Okay. This is what this guy was saying. So, I mean, you tell me. And that's why I brought this up, because I want to know what you guys think. I'm not generalizing. I'm going off of the video what this guy said. The incel guy, right, was saying that men don't care about other men's emotions and what they're going through. And that they would rather just offer up solutions rather than, listen to the guy. And I kind of understand. And the only reason I say, what up, Culture Invasion Podcast, the reason I kind of agree with this, and I'm not generalizing, but this is based off of one circumstance. I was on RC Edson's chat, and this guy came in, and he was like, yo, the shelters are full. I'm homeless. I need some money for food, blah, blah, blah. And I promise you, all the men was going in. Like, you don't work, you don't eat. Go here, do this, do that, da, da, da. And here I am talking about, oh, I'm so sorry, what's your cash app, bro? You know what I'm saying? So I understand from that aspect. So I think there is some truth to what he's saying. And maybe he's just speaking from an anecdotal, experience, his own experiences, what he's noticed for himself, and maybe some people that he's, close with. But what are your thoughts about men rights? What rights do men have? Tell me what those are, and then I could tell you whether and no, I don't like spiders. But he said also amongst men, why there's no brotherhood is there's no emotional connecting. There's no emotional connection there. And do you guys notice, like, when you watch like movies, like love stories, or just movies about, couples or something like that, whenever the men get together and one has a problem and he wants to discuss it, it always has to be while they're playing basketball, while they're shooting pool, while they're out drinking, or something like that, whatever they consider like a manly activity. Do you guys ever notice that? I'm not ignoring you, Sub-Zero. What you say, man? Let me go back. It's all what's up, Uh-oh, you didn't say anything. Oh, this was another one he said, and you guys tell me this. He said that men only want to be friends with other men that they look up to. Is that true? He says, so it's hard because depending on where you are in life, the type of friends that you get may not necessarily be the ones you would want to be around. What do you guys think about that? He also said that males are only interested in becoming friends or having a brotherhood if it's motivation for them to climb. I don't know any horror stories, AK-47. What are your thoughts on men being men and not trying to be women? I mean, yeah, of course. Yeah, men should be men and women should be men or women. Everybody should stay in their lane instead of trying to cross boundaries. God made us the way he made us. So I'm okay with the man being a man. Men should surround themselves with other success. I agree. I think so too. But I guess according to this guy, he was saying that's why the brotherhood doesn't exist, is because men only want to be around those that they look up to, that are successful, that have what it is that they want to obtain. They're not going to hang around people that maybe they see themselves better than. Is that a thing, you guys? What up, Nikki Jot? What are your thoughts on men being more society try to make men more like women? Well, I don't know if that's a societal thing. I think that's more media driven, trying to push men, to be more emasculating and feminine. You see that in a lot of the movies. There's always that gay male in the group. There's always that one that's just, that cowers, or, the sucker or the simp, or, I mean, I think that's just, I think that's social media, and it's also in the media on the big screen and a majority of the television shows that I watch. I'm good, Tedrick. How are you? The problem is the successful ones. Some don't want to be around me, not on their level. Oh, okay. Wait, let me say that again. The problem is the successful ones. Some don't want to be around me, not on their level. Don't want to be on those that are not on their level. Yeah. Is that necessarily a problem, though? I mean, I guess it is for the ones that aren't on their level that would want to be around them. But I think that those men should be also looking to help their brothers out, right? Lend a helping hand, mentor them, school them, tell them how they got to where they got. But then if you're successful and you're dealing with a bunch of people that would rather take what you got rather than learn from you, that could be a problem too. And I've seen people get burnt that way as well. And then they just say F it, and they just stop dealing with people that ain't on their level. You watching from jail, CJ? Oh man, don't ask me to show you nothing, because I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it. Hopefully you getting some conjugal visits, bruh. The coolest. I'm a white man, and I've always thought black women are so special. They just have an honest, straightforward personality, and they will let you know what they like and what they don't like. When my one of my best friends, the one that took her own life about 3-4 months ago, I remember when she got married and I was in the house and it was her and it was another couple there and they're both white, and one of the women was complaining about something about her husband. And now mind you, I wasn't married at the time, right? So I really had no business being in this conversation. But like you said, we're straightforward and we're just kind of, and they were kind of going back and forth. And I'm just looking, because at this time she had kind of like, she had gotten married. She had her first child and stuff like that. And so me and her weren't hanging out as much. And so I was a little jealous or whatever. But I understood. It's like, you need to be around other couples, you know? So we're in this house. I'm the only single one there at the time. It was just them two and the those two, and they were going at it in the kitchen, and I just looked at them both and I was like, have y'all told this to your husbands? Like, you guys are sitting here complaining, like, have you actually like said what you're saying to her? Have you said it to him? And she was like, no, of course not. And I'm like, yo, I was like, how do you expect for things to get better if you don't express it? Like, I don't know if that's I mean, I know, you know, there are people, women that are not black, that speak their mind, and you know, but I don't know. What up from India, Arab? You like to gossip about your neighbors with different neighbors all the time. Had she asked you to help her situation, you would have some excuse. If she had asked me to help her with her situation, I would have gave her excuse. No, not really. And that's the problem with me, though. I'll sit on the phone and talk to somebody. You know, and give them my input if they ask. I'm learning to not give unsolicited advice anymore, though. I can't do that no more because it's not right. But no, I don't gossip about. I don't talk to my neighbors. I got my old guy that's a veteran that's next door, and then there's another guy, a lady on the side of him, and I check on them periodically and say hi, see how they're doing, if they need anything, because they're older. But you know, the neighbors across the street, I don't mess with them, and I try not to talk about them. They got too much going on. North Sentinel Island, where is that? Wrong timing. You so happy? That's nice. Yeah, I'm at peace. I got joy in my heart. Oh, you're on top of a mountain? That's awesome. That sounds lovely. But what do you guys think about that whole sisterhood thing? Or not sisterhood, brotherhood thing? Because I'm trying to understand. And a lot of the other stuff that he was saying that also, and this is the problem I have with these incel channels, is that they compare themselves to women when the thing is they don't really know women. So for them to speak on women, because they've isolated themselves so much from the opposite sex, it's interesting that they speak so much about women when they really don't know, right? And so one of the things he was saying was that women can have an argument and get back together and be like, I'm so sorry, girl, my bad, da, 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 cry about it and then make up. And I'm like, that ain't true. That ain't true at all. Depending on what that sister did to the other sister, ain't no making up. Some stuff we walk away from too. It takes a lot for us to, you know. And one thing, I don't know about other women, but I know for me, it took me a long time to be apologetic. I wouldn't apologize for nothing. I would rather just buy you something to make up for it, you know, or do something nice for you. But apology, no. So I'm like, y'all really don't know women, and that's the problem. You comparing yourself to women's situation when you really don't know, you know. And he was saying, you know, that men just aren't willing to look out for each other and stuff like that. And I remember I was chatting with somebody and they were telling me, hey, why don't you, because I was talking about, you know, like rebranding my channel and stuff like that, how RCSN talks about rebranding yourself and doing something different on your channel. And he was kind of giving me some ideas, dropping some game. What up, Donovan? And he was saying, you know, how about you, you know, talk to women about, you know, just like your experience and certain things, and, you know, help them figure out certain things. And I said, man, I said, these women don't want to hear nothing. I said, you want to talk about the sisterhood? I said, if I were to get on here and talk mess about a woman or women in general, especially black women, I'm looked at as I'm not part of the sisterhood. And then somebody will come back and say, well, that's why we don't have a sisterhood, because you guys are too busy bashing somebody, when honestly, I'm just speaking from experience, number one, because if I see somebody doing something that didn't work for me and I know it doesn't work in general, I'm going to speak on it. To me, that is true sisterhood. But when I sit back and condone all the bullshit online, that's sisterhood. That's being a girl's girl. That's bull. And to me, that's not being the sisterhood. That's the opposite of, if I can sit here and condone, like I just saw a woman, She did the we listen and we don't judge challenge. Have you guys seen that on Instagram? So it's couples usually, right? And they'll tell something that they've been doing in the marriage or in the relationship, and the person's supposed to just sit there and take it, and then they go, right? And I think it's a horrible idea, and it's going to backfire on somebody eventually, right? Because I think that certain things you should keep to yourself. Certain things your spouse don't need to know. Like one lady, her husband was saying that he have dreams about other women, and then he wakes up and he still gives her a kiss. And then he even took it further and told her that she don't want to know who it is that he's dreaming about. Now, mind you, this woman is pregnant. This is your pregnant wife, and you telling her you dream about another woman, and it's somebody that she actually knows. So he did get a little backlash online, but I don't think that's good, and I don't think that's right. You don't do that to your pregnant wife. Certain things you got to keep to yourself. When my former pastor told me that him and his wife are not best friends and she don't know everything about him, I respect it. I said, I understand. I said, that makes sense. I think that's the way to go. That's the secret to a long marriage. Let's get married. Men don't want women like women do, and vice versa. Yeah, we don't know each other. We really don't. And honestly, that's how God made us. Like, God made us to think differently, to operate differently. That's really what makes the world go round. And when we start like not appreciating the differences in each other, that's where the chaos ensues, you know? So anyways, a woman decided to do the we listen and we don't judge challenge by herself, right? She's like 300 pounds. No offense to the big girls, but it's unhealthy. She's on her 8th child, and she's having her baby by a 64-year-old man. She's 25. He's 64. The people said, why are you not with him? She said, because he's married. But I'm not supposed to talk about her because that would be going against the sisterhood, right? Make it make sense. What am I supposed to be doing? Oh, I'm supposed to be uplifting her. I'm supposed to be telling her, sis, no, you got to do X, Y, and Z. Let's get you together. I'm going to be praying for you. No, we have to bring the shame back. Real sisterhood is telling a person when they doing wrong, in my opinion. Hallelujah, Royal Gamers. Hey, Snow White. Am in some church. It feels like that. Men are perfect. Donovan said men are perfect. You guys have no flaws, right? Black men don't cheat. It's true. False. False. I was just talking about that today when I reviewed Married at First Sight. Because Madison and David are hunching in the background when they're supposed to be at the gym at 6 in the morning. They really screwing in the room. That's what's happening. And I know they are, because men cheat. I've been cheated on. And every time that sucker was being extra nice. Oh my God. Like, wait a minute. I wasn't complaining now. Oh, you want to give me roses for no reason? Just cause? Just cause you like me? You feeling me today? You was down there a little longer today. What's really going on? Month later. Oh, okay. So when you did that, okay, adds up. But y'all don't cheat, right, Donovan? Where are you from? I'm from Cali. Oh, you're from India. That's what's up. But yeah, what do you guys think about the Brotherhood stuff? I just thought that was a really interesting topic. I think a lot of those guys on those incel channels. So now I'm going to have to change my algorithm, because now it's a lot of them that are just coming up. Like if you talk about anything as far as like solitude, semen retention, celibacy, or anything like that, your feed is going to be full of those stuff. And then I also listened to Miles Monroe, which I tagged a portion of his talk into my video about keeping your mouth quiet, keeping your secrets to yourself. A lot of the motivational stuff comes up, but a lot of the incel stuff, a lot of the loneliness stuff, a lot of people that are isolating and staying to themselves and cutting off, stuff. Some of it is good, but some of it, if you go down that rabbit hole a little too deep, it can be very self-limiting and very toxic. And the one thing I did notice about the 3 people that I watched that are like considered incels, in my opinion, all of them are missing God. They're all missing God. None of the videos that I watched, not one mentioned anything about the Most High, a spiritual relationship, nothing like that. It was all superficial stuff. Like, I can't get girls because I look like this. I can't do this because I'm that. I was homeless because of that. You know, women that women got it so easy. We got it bad. Like, it was really, really sad, you know. And one of the guys, I felt like he was really sincere, and I put in there, I said, I can't remember everything I said, but I just basically said, the state that you're in is not healthy. I feel like at this point, you have to turn to God in these moments, because it sounded like he was on the verge of just ending, and so I'm like, yo, whatever. And somebody comes back and says something about spirituality and God, and being forced into religion. And I'm like, bruh, I said, listen, if my comment triggered you, then maybe I was, maybe it's something you need to hear. And so he came back and said, are you talking to me? And I said, if the shoe fits, then yeah, I'm talking to you, because I'm trying to uplift him, and here you come trying to dispute what I just said. How could you dispute anything that's going to bring somebody closer to the Most High? That's weird. That's demonic, and it triggered him. And so a lot of these guys, they're missing God in their life. You know what I'm saying? I haven't been with a person in almost 3 years, but I'm not online being pitiful and self-doubting and not having any faith or belief in myself and my abilities. Like, and the only reason I can still wake up every morning and be grateful that I'm alive is because of the Most High. That's the only reason. If I didn't have that, then I would have been myself. You know what I'm saying? So I have to share that with anybody that I feel going down that path, because that really is the way. What up, Adit? What up, David? Ain't nobody in my backseat. Miles Monroe died of... Oh, he's gone? I didn't know that. Read the stuff. Some of it's okay, some of it nah. What else does he say that you don't like? The ones that I listened to when he was talking about, keeping information to yourself because, and setting boundaries, that was really good. And then I saw another one of his, a talk about, I can't remember, but it was all positive. It was about, having faith and believing that, that God has your back even when you feel alone, So just based off of those two, I got no gripes with the brother. Thanks, Nigadora. I think he's a chainsaw. You're pretty for a chubby girl. Thanks, Julia. Cam. Thanks. Thanks, Mess. Thanks, Adi. Thanks, Lord Doyen. But yeah, he seems inspirational. I think I've heard of him before, but I never really got into him. But yeah, interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. Can you do a backflip? Nope. I sure can't. I'm just recently working on my damn flexibility. I tried to bend over and touch my toes the other day, and it hurt like a summer baby. So I got to work on that. And it's a little windy. It's 50 degrees outside, and I, like a dummy, decided to put on jeans that got holes at the knees. And I got arthritis. Where that makes sense at? That was dumb. Stupid. I live in the United States. Miles Monroe died. Oh, he's been gone that long? Wow. A lot of his stuff was good. Depends on what the topic is. Oh, okay. His advice for divorce was out there for me. Oh, okay. I'm going to have to look that up then. That's interesting. But Donovan, do you really feel like men don't cheat? Because they do. Do you think it's justified when men cheat? And do you think that women should just forgive and move on? Like, do you think that is a dumb reason for a woman to divorce? That's what I want to know. Hey, Fun with Sky. I think if it's habitual and it gets to the point where you're like bringing outside babies and you're bringing home diseases, that's a problem. I don't think any woman should deal with that, But the way dating and society is now, sometimes it might be best to just stay and work it out and just punish him for a while and sleep in separate bedrooms until he realizes his mistake, and then do some counseling and some soul searching and then come back together, maybe. But I think there's levels to everything, and people always talk about, oh, well, women are the main ones that file for divorce. And I'm gonna just tell you, like, people don't ever consider the fact that, number one, women don't just all of a sudden just leave. We just don't, respect from divided. What's up, Mohammed? Salam. Cheating is not justified by either. However, women drive men to cheat in a lot of situations, holding the sex or using sex as a weapon. Yeah, women do that. Yeah, they withhold that sex, and men have to have it. Like I heard somebody say that men are on a clock. Like she learned her husband's schedule. Like she knows if he goes past 3 days, he's going to be frustrated. So she makes sure within those 3 days that she makes sure that she gives it to him, because she knows he's going to start to get anxious and irritable, and she knows it's because he hasn't had any. So she was in tune with her husband like that, because she knew what was up. But yeah, women do use their body as a weapon, and I just think it depends on what the man did, to warrant that. But it is manipulative, and it can be considered abuse, just like with not talking to somebody, that's emotional abuse, abuse. So but yeah, I think there's different reasons. I don't think anybody ever talks about, though, the women, and this is what happened to me, the women who file for divorce because their husbands made it virtually impossible for you to want to live with them, because they don't want to be the ones to go and file. They'll do everything they can to get you, to push you to do that. And that's exactly what mine did, because he said, I don't want this, whatever. Me, I was willing. Listen, when I said I do, I automatically knew right then and there I effed up. I said, God forgive me, I just messed up. I was not supposed to do this. Mind you, we were like 24, 25, 23, 20, 24, right? Messed up. But I did it. And I said, you know what? I made my bed, though. I'm going to lay in it. I'm going to do my best. And even though things weren't perfect, he was like, I don't think I want to do this no more. Da, da, da. I didn't fight him. I was just thinking to myself, you're right. But I was just like, let's see. So we did all the things, the counseling, the church, marriage 101, blah, 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 right? And he changed his mind and was like, all right, let's make this work. So I was back, like, okay, I'm in it. Let's do it, right? And then he changed his mind again and was like, I think I want. And I'm like, okay, bro, at this point, do what you want to do. Do what you're going to do, right? But I'm here, right? He was too pussy to do it. And so what he would do is he would do everything in the world to make our living situation uncomfortable, to the point where I was just like, I have no choice but to file, because now you're just being blatantly disrespectful, not coming home. No, like, I'm not going to do that. So we have to look at all of the things that men put women through too, as to why they finally file. It's not always just women just give up. There's a lot of women out here that put up with a lot of stuff for a long time, and I'm sure it works both ways on both sides, and it happens on the other end too. I was only married for 2 years, just 2. Exactly. But cheating is not good. But if it does happen, you need to get counseling and communicate. Absolutely. And we did. And that's the crazy thing, Donovan, was that when we went to counseling and went to marriage 101, we realized even more that we shouldn't have been together, that we made a huge mistake. But like I said, I was willing to stick it out and just hang in there and see what happens. You know what I'm saying? At one point we were trying for a kid, like everything, but everything happens for a reason, it I don't know. I don't even know. Hey, I was just scrolling through live section and found you. Let me know what you have. A great vibe. God bless you. Keep hustling. That's what's up, Shiv. Hey, Mo. Hey, S42. Damn, well, at least you both found out the truth of we both realized it, but the thing is too, like, both people got to be on the same page and both equally willing to work at it. If one wants to work at it and one just don't, it's not going to work. So are we supposed to just sit there and deal with it? Like, I don't know, and also my relationship with the Most High wasn't at its best. So I think if I had a deeper understanding of life and the psychology behind the way people think and why people do what they do, because he was also diagnosed with ADHD during that time. If I had the maturity that I have now, obviously, then it probably could have, because I probably would have been able to try to work. But I did everything the counselor told us to do. He said, listen, don't if he messes up, let him mess up. Don't go in to try to fix it and stop it. Just let him, right? Because that was one of his complaints, is that I wanted everything to be perfect and right, and I didn't want him to make a mistake or whatever, right? And so I said, okay, easy. I'm gonna let you lead. Guess what? Shit hit the fan. And guess what? He blamed me for letting it hit the fan. I'm like, I'm just doing it. So I couldn't win for losing, y'all. It was a lose-lose situation for your girl Mo. And I had to go. It was fun while it lasted, but I had to go. Damn, well, at least you both found, okay, everything always happened. Yeah, everything, even the bad stuff. Everything happens for a reason. Because the bad stuff is going to teach you a lesson. And then you can, make that your testimony, and you can warn the person that's coming up behind you and let them know, hey, listen, this happened to me. I don't know, whatever, but this was my situation. This is how it happened. And so I'm just going to say this is a possibility of what can happen if you go down this path. That's the whole purpose for us that's the whole purpose for us going through these things, so that we can learn from it, do better, and show the people coming up behind us. That's what I want to do. But like I said, these 304s don't want to hear nothing. It is what it is. So I'm from Pakistan. That's what's up. You type too much. I don't even know what you're talking about. But you guys, I got to go. My son is almost done with his appointment. And this is his last appointment today, until it's on an as-needed basis, which I'm grateful for, because that was $200 a month in co-pay. So that's $200 extra that I could use throughout the month, which will probably just go back to him in some other capacity, But God is good, and I'm grateful that I even have the funds to do certain things like that. That's going to make him a better and stronger individual. What you laughing at, Donovan? What's today? Thursday? You going to be on Demetra on Sunday? I look forward to that. I got to go back and watch your other video about Corey Jackson. Shameful. Keep your knee on these politicians. Next, Donovan. I appreciate it. You guys check out Donovan Sadiq, his channel, y'all. He be getting on these black politicians, man. That's brotherhood, because you have to call it out. If he wouldn't have said nothing, or if he would condone all of the things that these politicians are doing, that would be fake love. That's not love of the community. Real love is calling it out so that we can get better people in there to run the show. That's brotherhood. Y'all need to clock that and quit saying that if you talk bad about another black person, that's against the sisterhood, or you not being part of the village. That's BS. That's actually self-hate, in my opinion. That's self-hating when you allow another person that looks like you to do some bullshit that's going to be detrimental to our community. But anyways, yes, you going to his office today? All right, good luck. Be safe. Don't do too much. I don't want to see you in handcuffs. But if you do, hit me up. I got bail money. I know you'll pay it back. New Zealand. All right. You guys take care. God bless.